Hi, welcome back to Successful Kids, Successful Schools. I am Penny Owen, and this is...
I'm Bill Cecil.
And this is the second half of our podcast. We scheduled 24, and we're now on 13, which makes me feel really good. But we have had comments that people have written in or talked to us about things. So we thought that we would use this time now, since it's halfway through, to answer some questions that people had. And so before we start, and some of this I'm going to read, so I'm getting it straight now. Our goals were not to sell a product. We've said this a million times. Our goal was to incite, inspire, encourage younger teachers and would-be teachers to become creative in their classroom, right? We want that creativity in the classroom. We want them to find their passion so that they can then pass on the passion for curiosity and learning onto their students. And why this intense drive to bring creative teachers out of the shadows? Because they are in the shadows. What you've learned lately is, I'll just try this and I'll be real quiet about it. And if it works, I'll do it again and again, but I don't want anybody to notice. And why is that happening? It's because, for some strange reason that I cannot explain, except I can, because it has everything to do with two things: testing and computer education, right? Administrators are demanding that teachers literally follow scripts. Like, I got a letter, an email from somebody who was watching our show, and he said, yeah, I taught in America and loved teaching until they handed me a script and said, this is what I expect you to say. Because I still love teaching, I left the United States and I'm teaching in Scandinavia. So it's like, yes, it is happening. The idea of robots can be teaching your child better than human beings is somehow being presented as true and accurate, and therefore all teachers will be absolutely the same. They'll say exactly the same words, and therefore you'll never get a bad teacher because you've got a robot. It's being passed around as some sort of truth, but we now have demonstrable evidence that that is not right. That since the introduction of computer education, cognitive skills in kids have gone down. We're going to include a tape in our episodes of a researcher who has found some of this demonstrable evidence. So we now know it isn't working. And how many more years before we say, this isn't working, let's get back to a creative classroom with a live human being teaching live, real kids, okay? So, I'm sorry that we, both of us, are obsessed with this, but I fear we are dumbing down America. And why is that important? It's important because we live in a democracy, a republic, which is a form of a democracy. And since we do that, we want to teach our kids how to have deliberative conversations, how to solve problems together, how to work together creatively, and how to think critically together. So that's why we're pushing this program. We want people to start thinking outside the box, because in a democracy, outside the box is good. And we already talked for the past 12 episodes that kids are unique. Kids are like snowflakes. They can't all be exactly the same. So why are we pushing the idea that we want them to be at the same place at the same time?
We can't teach them like they're robots.
Right.
You know, we have to teach them like they're people with different ideas and things. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. That's answering that question. And the next thing is that people have called in saying, we want to know how to do what you do. And that wasn't our intention. In an episode, we can't do how-tos. For one thing, it'd be boring, we thought, like then you do this and then you do this. Then we have become just like the people that we're complaining about that go, here's a rote system, do what we do. That wasn't our intention. But so many people have said, well, yeah, but how do you do it? That what we decided is that we're going to, over the summer, create a website. And Bill's going to talk about this for a minute.
Yeah, you want me to do it now?
Yeah.
So what I did was I have a 30 episode, it's audio, but it's a 30 episode podcast on just best year ever and how to implement classroom management strategies, building relationships, all the key things that I'll mention in a few minutes. But without me having to stop right now and go into each one in great detail, I go out and talk to many new teachers that are training to become teachers. I go into schools and work with all different types of teachers. But the point is that they come in for that. But for the podcast, we want to just get them thinking. It's like get them excited about being creative. And so my job is more about building the foundation so that you can be creative in the classroom. And that's really that's your magic.
Right.
And that's what you're great at. And so, but I do want to give them the how-to. So you're going to get that. And it's going to be on the website as soon as we get it up and running, which should be soon. And so...
well, by August.
Yeah. Yeah, but in the meantime, you can go to my website, just bestyearever.net, if you want to see some of those podcasts or listen to some of those podcasts. But the help's out there. The how-tos are out there. So we're not ignoring the how-tos.
Right. It's there. It's just not in these episodes.
Right.
But I don't have a how-to. But I might figure out how to do it because I'm teaching the conceptual uses of imagination and what's important in how to inspire them to use their imaginations. And that's what I'm pushing, not how to do my program exactly. So I'm going to do something for the website that we're creating.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it is yet.
We'll create it.
Yeah. Yes, I'll be creative. Yeah, okay. Oh, will I? Do I still have that in me? Okay, so those are the things that we wanted to talk about in the midpoint of our episodes. Now, you may look around here and notice that we have a new set. And when we first started, we wanted our set to look corporate, so we looked sort of like big shots and important.
And now that you know we're not,
yeah,
we're normal people.
Like, who are they? I've never heard of these people. Like, yes, but see, we have a big fancy table and something that looks like a big fancy office. But now we're going, yeah, we don't care. We're just going to be us. And we thought that this looked sort of homier and more like who we are. Yeah. Both of us are wearing jeans. This is us now. Yeah. But what it really sets up where we're going next, which is how do you engage parents in all this? Mm. And I'm going to tell a short story, and then I'm turning this over to Bill, because Bill literally has a book called
7 Winning Strategies to Help Your Child Succeed in School.
Right. And my little blurb about this to introduce this is, again, I'm pushing the fact that I'm really old. And in the 1950s, we had parent-teacher associations, and you wanted 100% of every classroom to have both mother and father enrolled in PTA meetings, the PTA association, right? And they'd get it. I mean, it was an embarrassment if you were not helping your child and helping that teacher help your child learn. And that was being a part of the Parent-Teacher Association, working together to help your child learn. 100%. If you go into an elementary school now, you're lucky to have 5 parents that are part of the PTOs. Mm-hmm. So something has gone wrong. And the big thing for us is, how do we get parents back in and engaged? And Bill has a whole program that goes along with Best Year Ever, because to have a Best Year Ever, you got to have your parents engaged with it. So I'm turning it over to Bill now.
Great. So basically what I try to do is I like to think of this as a A doable plan for teachers. I talked a little bit about that, where the first day of school, you come in with a shared vision, come in and get them excited about the shared vision, your students. And then you want to make sure you start taking time to build the team immediately. And then over the course of the next 30 days, you're going to be building in procedures that will save time and give you more time to teach and the kids more time to learn. And then the last one is rules and consequences. You got to establish that safe environment by letting them help establish the rules, but then you have to consistently enforce them. And that doesn't mean, harshly. It just means that there has to be incentives that they can try to earn or consequences that they might, lose certain things that they were trying to earn because they couldn't follow the rules, to get them to follow the rules, because that creates the positive, safe environment where they know that they have boundaries. And so that's the teacher doable plan. What I wanted to do with the first part of my book was I wanted parents to think about 4 things that give them a doable plan, that they could do 4 things at home on a regular basis, starting on day 1 with their kids when they come home from school. And I'll talk more about a brochure I send home to kind of get them sucked in. But the 4 things that I'd like to see them doing throughout the year, and they're really easy things to do, is the first one is, when you're talking about getting them excited about school, you got to get them to model it instead of just say. It's not a do as I say approach, it's a do as I do approach. So I want them to get excited about the school year and say, so this is going to be a great year for you. Or my kids would probably say best year ever for you, but you don't have to call it that. Whatever, but get them excited and let them know you're excited. So every day, instead of saying how was school, say, so what did you do exciting at school today? Plant that seed in their head that there's things exciting going on, or what did you do today to maybe help yourself grow a little bit better and things like that. So, but get them excited about it and let them know you're excited.
And I hate going back, but I am going back.
Go back.
3 words.
Yeah.
Attitude.
Yeah. Attendance, attitude, and effort.
Right.
Yes.
So you want the parent to have a positive attitude.
Yes.
You want the parent to, they show effort.
Just by doing that, having a conversation with them, getting them excited, making the effort to even say, I'm going to get to know your parents, your teachers this year. I'm going to help support them this year. And that's how I'm going to be inviting them to support us. And so, but yeah, to let them see it at home that they're hearing that. It's bridging that gap between home and school. Like you and the teacher are on the same page. I get the sense that you guys talk about the same things. You're asking me the same type of questions. You're both excited about this year. So I'm getting excited about this year.
Do attendance. How do they model attendance? I'm wondering things like, how many parents call into work at the last minute and don't show up?
Right.
How many parents, are they as disciplined about attendance?
Yeah. I think, for me, what I encourage parents to do is to talk about the importance of attendance, that's the first step. You can't do anything if you don't show up. And so that's why I go to work every day. That's why I try to get to work, And if they're having problems doing that, maybe that will encourage them to want to be more consistent, to show their kids the importance of attendance. But I would never go there. But I'm saying that might be something they pick up with this conversation.
Right. That's modeling.
That's modeling.
But I go to work every day.
Yes. But also celebrating with their child that they're going to school every day. I'm so proud of you this year, because that's where things happen. It doesn't happen here sitting on the couch while everybody else is at school. It's like a train that's going down the track and you're not on it. So the more days you're on that train, you're getting more things out of your year that's going to lead you to that great year we're talking about. So good for you. I'm really proud of that. Talk it up. Talk it up. Sort of like I talked about Target Talk before. Talk about attendance, attitude, and effort. Like, I notice your attitude's really great, or this morning your attitude seems a little down. Remember, try to change that before you go to school today. Look for something good. Instead of waking up and going, oh, it's Monday. I know we all got to go to work and you got to go to school. Let's just get this going. Wake up with some zip in you.
Okay, so here's a story.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I might have told this story already. My mother used every day of my life.
Yeah.
Would wake us up with this. Smile when you get up, be happy and gay, and laugh all your troubles away. Hey, hey, hey. And I'd go, as a teenager, I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill her.
That's funny.
But
I love it.
All my life, it's been my attitude.
And if I knew that, I would have probably sung that with my kids in the classroom every morning, just as a joke, and like overdo it, and just like get them laughing and say, but it's planting a seed, and those are the little things that make a huge difference.
Right, and she did overdo it.
Yeah,
she did. She was like Miss Bouncy Peppy. I'd go, oh my gosh, you gotta just.
Yeah. That's
But it
great.
works. It worked in my life. If I was having a bad,
Of course.
the day before, the other thing she'd say to me, if I had a bad day, she'd go to bed. Just go to bed early, because
Right.
when you wake up the next day,
Right.
it's going to be better.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that really is modeling.
Yes. So modeling is huge, and getting them excited, and modeling that. Don't just go through I want you to go to school and have a good day. Say it with some zip and say, like, I'm really excited for you this year. It seems like you got a teacher that's working with you and really wants you to succeed, and I want you to succeed. And if they hear that enough, they know they've got that support system.
Right.
So that's huge. So the second thing is talk to them daily. Don't talk to them about what subjects they taught that day necessarily, or learned about that day, or that last score that they didn't do so well on. Talk to them just about yourself. Sit down with them for 10 minutes a day, if that, without any phones, any interruptions, and just say, so what happened today? Tell me how things went. I'm curious. I've been excited to hear this. And then if they say something, maybe you can relate it to, when I was in school, I remember I had this challenge once and I had to overcome it. And this is how I overcame it. Maybe we can help you with that this year.
So that becomes also important. Getting rid of the phones, turning your phone off.
Right.
That's modeling, but that's also saying, I cannot tell you how many times you see parents in like a grocery store and they're on their phone and their kid is trying to get their attention. Nothing. Nothing.
I've seen that in restaurants. They're there to have a meal together, and they're on their devices, and it's like the kids are sitting there looking around, like, "Is this what we're doing?" So so that's an important one. But just taking 10 minutes or so, just to have time to sit with them and say, "You're important to me. Let me hear what's going on today. I love you. I want to know what's going on."
Or having dinner together.
Having dinner together,
And
if you
talking
can.
around the dinner
And I
table.
know families are busy, so I'm not being unrealistic to say I think you could squeeze in 10 minutes. Even if you're out of town, you could probably call home for 10 minutes and talk to your child on the phone and say, okay, now put so-and-so on the phone. I want to talk to them. But it's important, and it gives the kids a sense of value. And then it makes them feel like they can come to you now and talk about things because you've shared more about yourself, and that, they didn't get upset, and they know that they can share more with you, and you probably won't get upset with them because you can now trust them to just talk it out instead of, you need to do this, or that's not enough, or da-da-da-da, It's a chance every day. It's like, you don't even tell them we're going to do that. You just do it.
And when I'm thinking about this, supporting the schools is not being on the side of the schools as opposed to the kid.
Right.
Follow me?
Right.
It's like, we are all in this together. It's not, I'm choosing the school over you.
Right. Absolutely.
Which I think
Absolutely.
is a trick somehow, is that parents really want to say, I'm with my kid.
Absolutely. And I think we want to make
so together we'll hate teachers.
Just the opposite. We want to make them, at school, we're trying to make it more fun for them by being creative and getting them more engaged so that they do learn more. Well, the same thing at home. If they can start talking about, this year sounds so exciting for you, I always want to hear what you're doing, and they sound excited, then that's going to get you more excited. And so it's just building that muscle, that habit,
I like that.
And the other one is, that ties into that, is the third one is in that doable plan, is that you want to make it, Highlights magazine always had that fun with purpose. That was their purpose right on the magazine. You go to the doctor's office, Highlights magazines for kids, but it said fun with a purpose. And that's what my philosophy was in the classroom, fun with a purpose. And so when they come home, you should get involved in, so what projects are you working? Because I sent home projects. So what projects are you working on? Can I look at it? Oh, do you need any help with this? I can, and I didn't mind if parents helped, as long as it didn't look like the parents did all the work. But get them involved and say you're interested. Or better yet, a kid will sometimes go, we started learning about this. Can I show you what we're doing? And they'll be like, well, I don't have time for that. Let them teach you what they've learned.
Well, okay, and I'm going to talk about, I mean, this is really interesting because fun with a purpose and helping your kid, it's called homework. So home. So that means your parent can be engaged in it. And if you're not engaged in it nowadays, especially math, because they do math way different than they used to.
Let them teach you.
And exactly. Your kid comes home and goes, and you get to say, and it's okay to say it, I don't get the way they're doing this now. So
Right.
tell me, because the way we did it was like, we just memorized tables.
That sounds like an excuse too, when they say, I don't know how kids are doing the math today, so I don't even help them on that.
Right.
Wait a minute. You can learn from them. Give them that chance to be a teacher, and then they respect their teacher more because they're being more,
And I love that phrase, let them be the teacher.
Yeah. So
Because
teach me what you learned today.
that's where you learn all kinds of things. When
Yeah.
you're teaching somebody else, then you have to explain it.
Yes.
So your kid has learned it when they can teach it to you.
Yeah. Absolutely, and it's fun. And then what they do too is, they'll say, "Hey, I'm playing a new game tonight. Can I show you how to play it?" So it's like, I don't got time for that, or play with them for 20 minutes. What the heck? Let them teach you how to play it. It's them teaching you and getting excited that you're learning it and showing that excitement. And then the last in the 4-point doable plan is do this 21 days in a row at the beginning of the school year, and I guarantee you it's going to form habits that will last the rest of the school year for you and them to talk more often and have these conversations and do these things. And if you go 90 days, it becomes a lifestyle change for the child, especially if in the past they've struggled and they're not into talking about school. Now it's something they look forward to. They go home every night, somewhere in there, they know they're going to have this conversation, even if it's on the way to a sporting event or home because they're busy. But they will have it, and it's connection.
Okay, so I have two things about this.
Yeah.
One is they tell you that. So I got my dog died of. She was almost 14 years old. Killed me. In 6 weeks, I had to get another dog. I just couldn't stand. But they gave me the same pattern
I've been there.
for when you get a rescued dog.
Yeah.
Is the same amount of time.
Yeah.
There's 3 weeks.
Adjusting.
There's 3 days, and they can tolerate you. There's 3 weeks, which is the 21 days, and then there's 3 months. And truly, my puppy now thinks she owns my house.
The house, yeah.
We've been going for 3 months, and she's like, "Yeah, okay. Well, this is how we do it in my house." Right. So it's interesting that it applies even to animals.
It tells you how powerful it is. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. And and my second thing about this is a question. So I got 5 kids. Do that. I can easily do all that stuff with 1 kid, but now I got 5 of them. How do I do that?
Well, maybe on certain nights you give a little bit more time to one and less time, but I think you'll definitely find ways to do it. It's my mom had 5 kids. She did it with us all the time. So I think it just becomes a habit for them too. They're learning to build up a muscle and find time.
And you think with a lot of kids, I can give each kid that same attitude, all those 4 steps.
Yeah, I would say 5 or under kids. If you have like 13 kids or something, you might be in trouble. So.
But it's doable.
It's very doable.
It's doable with a lot of kids in the family.
Yeah.
I don't sit them all down at the same table and go, okay, your turn, your turn, your turn, your turn. I talk to each one individually.
If you can, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we are pretty much on the way out of this episode, and I want to thank you for putting up with us. Sometimes, we're supposed to be promoting this, and we do reels, and I send you stuff, and I think, oh my God, am I pushing this too much? I mean, I feel like a pest, but I think what we're doing is important. I really do. And I think that the engagement of parents is really, really important. So we're not done.
Oh, no.
Stay tuned for next episode number 14, where Bill spends more time helping teaching teachers how to engage parents. And that's all. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.